You can get all of us up.
Yeah, you can. You can get all of us up. Oh, did I make it weird?
I don't know, but
get you up.
hey, you
Tickle something. I don't know. Takes a bit for get me up. There you go.
Let me behind the wall.
Tickle something.
Hey, where's purple guys at?
I just need you to heal me, not put your thumb in my ass.
This is how you heal someone. It's the new kind of medicine. There we go, Rick.
Oh man.
Here we go.
All right, guys. I'm doing car mechanic simulator today. Sorry, I'm trying to record, but also be fairly quiet since the kids are still sleeping. This one's gonna be a voiceover because when I recorded this was late at night and the kids were sleeping. Yeah, but today I'm going to be working on Z. I think it's a 350. It might be one of the newer ones. Not too sure. I started playing the game, probably about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, about 2 weeks ago. We started with Car Simulator 2018. It was one of the games you can play for free if you have PlayStation Plus, the new service that they offer now that gives you all the games and everything. I actually had Car Simulator 2015 on the PC, and I really liked it. And then I saw that there was a newer one, which is this one, the 2021. So I went ahead and bought it and started playing it. Once I kind of understood everything about the game, I don't have everything figured out, but I understand most of it. I was like, why not throw some videos up here of me putting cars together and stuff like that, especially now that I have some money where I can start building a car all the way from the ground up. So I came into the car auction, or the junkyard car auction, I should say. Car auction. Oh my God, I can't talk. It's so early and I'm trying not to talk so loud. Car auction. Yeah, so this car's pretty beat to shit. I always check the parts as much as it'll let me to see how much of the car I will be able to fix on the workbench. And if it looks like I can repair most of it, I'll buy it. But if too much of it is like, 15% and under, I won't buy it. Unless I really have something in mind for the car where I don't care because I'm going to be replacing everything anyways. But usually I try to get stuff that is still salvageable. So here, I was looking at some of the parts, like the doors, how badly bended and warped the car is. Most of this can be fixed on the welder anyways, when you put it on the lift. But I still like to try to get a decent car, I will say I do like the way the auction works in this game compared to the other two, the previous versions. I wish there was a button to just flat out buy the car. I know you could do it if you go to the junkyard, but in the junkyard, you don't always, you can't pick what you're gonna get. It's either in there or it's not, and you have to leave and go back. And sometimes you just can't find the car you're looking for. Alright, so let's go bring the car inside. Well, actually, I always wash it first. So we're gonna wash this. Power wash it and then go and hit the interior as well. If you guys are ever selling a car, how do you fix it in this game? The last thing you should do once you're done with everything is power wash it again and do the interior, because if you do anything where you get inside the car, the game kind of sees that you went in the car and it counts it as like it's dirty because it's used, and sometimes that brings down the value. If you take it to the speed track or the racetrack or any of that stuff, you get dirt on the car again, and it brings the value down. And then if you power wash it and then wash the interior, like detail it, it brings the value back up. It just gives you that little extra more, a little extra money there at the end. Now we can start seeing how it's actually gonna look. Which is not bad. I actually like that paint, the color, but I already had something in mind for it, so we're gonna end up changing all that. And so the way that I go about when I build the car, so I like to play the game like kind of like role play it a little bit. And so the way that I like to fix the cars up for the customers is I try to envision what the car is gonna look like before I start working on the engine and all that. I want to see the body. I want to see how it actually looks. So typically I try to salvage as much as I can, but on certain cars it's already missing a lot of parts. I just go ahead and buy as much of it as I can new, if not all of it. And then I just put everything together, take it to the paint booth, paint it all one solid color, usually like either the factory color, depending what color it is, or like a white or a silver. That way I can get a better look of how everything actually looks, because when you put the used parts, they're usually black and you can't see all the detail in it. So I'm gonna slap everything on here and then I'm gonna take it to the paint booth. There's a little bug in the game that I kind of don't like. So it'll show that you can still put the parts on the car, but that option has actually been canceled out. So then you have to, if you don't see it in time, you'll be there trying to put stuff on and it won't fit, and you're like, what the hell, what's going on? And it's all because the option went away. You have to reactivate it. Alright, so I'm still not 100% on that front bumper. But once we put a coat of paint on it and we get it all to be uniformed, I'll see. So, oh, I forgot that this one, the color was actually silver. So yeah, so now we don't have to pick a random color. Like I said, white or silver, even like a green, like a light green, at times is the best color, so that you could really see all the curves of the car. And while I like the way the stock bumper looks, I kind of wanted to go for something a little bit more aggressive or different than the stock. So I ended up trying out the other bumper and actually kind of like it because of that little vent or scoop in the front of it. Gives it more like a kind of like an aggressive feel. I don't like the squareness of it because it's actually a little bit more square than the original. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep it just because of that little scoop. That looked pretty good. I wish you could do more customizing than what the game actually allows you to do. It would have been nice to have been able to like turbocharge any car as long as you buy the right parts for it. And that way you could put like intercoolers and all that stuff on them. But certain cars have a stock engine and that's the only engine you can do. Other cars you can drop different engines in them. And then even then, if you get a car and you drop a different engine in it, and it's a turbo engine, it doesn't let you put an intercooler, which is just ridiculous to me that you're putting a turbo engine, but you're not putting in an intercooler or the option to pick whether you want one or not. So now that it's all one color uniform, I like the body already, so we're gonna work on the wheels next. That's usually the way that I do stuff, is fix the body, get the body looking good, and then I go for like the wheels and interior and all that other jazz. But first is always the body. I want to make sure that the body looks good. Maybe I put headlights that I don't like on it, and there's aftermarket ones that look nicer, or I pick aftermarket ones and I end up finding out that the stock ones look better. So that's what we're doing here, just doing all the rest of the stuff. And then usually, like, this one's missing the front left wheel. Usually if it's something like that where it's missing a wheel, I'll repair anything that I need to repair in order to be able to get the wheel on there, because I want to see the car with the wheels on that I'm thinking of on it, so I can get a better idea for it. And then I always put the wheels that I'm going to be putting on or thinking of putting on one side of the car, and then the stock ones on the other side, so I can see the difference and see if it's really improving the way that it looks. Or if the stock ones look good, I might just want to increase the size on the stock ones or lower the size and change the tires out. So now that I'm happy with how the inside looks, put everything back together. Now we can start working on the wheels. None of the stuff that I'm putting on here really matters. I'm just trying to get it built together or put together enough to where I could, like I said, slap a rim on there. And I was looking up videos for this game, and I was seeing that there's a lot of people that try to give you details on what they're doing in the game, and them themselves look like it's their first time playing it. And it was bothering me because I was trying to watch videos to help me understand the game better myself, and they were so caught up in how good their car was going to look after they were done doing whatever they were going to do, that they didn't realize they were missing parts, not putting parts in. One video that I saw, the guy couldn't even get his car to turn on, and he just pretty much called the car a bust and just left it at that and ended the video. It was pretty funny. I actually had to share that video to show it to a few friends that are actually playing this game with me. It's me and Futag play it all the time. It's a single player game, but what we do is we just get on our own game, and then we're just talking back and forth and sending screenshots to one another of what we're working on, stuff like that. I think this game, the way that it is, should totally have a multiplayer, so that when you're playing, one person can be working on, let's say you get one guy and you have him do all the stuff that he needs to do to become like a suspension expert, you know, and you can get another person and they can be a wheel expert, and allows them to do mounting, unmounting, balancing, all that stuff a lot faster than if you're not. And then everybody in the group can just have the mastery of everything, and on different cars you have different responsibilities and stuff that you're in charge of. I think that would be pretty cool. That way you could have a person rebuilding the engine, another person doing body work when they're done or whatever, or the guy that's doing the body work is done, you can hand it off to the guy who's doing the paint, and stuff like that, and make it kind of like a business little thing. And I think it would be pretty fun too, especially if you could slap cars together and then put them up like on within the game, have you submit them so that people can judge them, and allow the people to truly inspect the car, like allow them to open doors and see all the mods you've done to it. Have like a little sheet that shows you your dyno numbers, your top speed, like all that stuff, so that people can go and just your car and have your community vote to see who has the nicest car, the nicest setup. And if you could like have your shop with the guys you group, like a group of guys you play with, you can have like, you know, the name of your shop on it, on the car, so that they know like cars that come out of that shop are always looking good, or don't always look that good, and stuff like that. I think something like that would have been fun to add to the game, the multiplayer aspect, because you could also have, you know, one or two guys working on the car, and then another person working on the storyline to get you the tools and equipment and stuff you need for the shop. You know what I mean? And then you could do things where you don't have a whole lot of money, so you're not building a car that particular week. You're just working on customer cars, and you have one guy doing all the repairs, like brakes and stuff like that, brake suspension. Another guy working on just like the transmission issues and engine issues. Another guy just detailing cars for customers and stuff like that. I think it would have been really, really fun, and kind of like a missed opportunity for the people in the game to do. Because if you bring car people together, it's pretty fun. Like, especially like I have my friend Rick, he's a mechanic, and whenever we do stuff to the cars and stuff like that, we're just hanging around, having fun. And then I was doing this, and like 2 or 3 times this happened to me where I could not remember what I was doing. I would just completely blank out on what the hell I was doing. And I only bought 2 sets of race tires, but I was like looking back and forth, and I'm all like, which is the right one? And then finally I remembered, hey jackass, you bought 2 race tires for the front and 2 slicks for the back. You know? So it happens quite a lot, actually. I'm trying to do something and I start thinking too ahead of what I'm doing, and I just space on what I'm actually working on. Yeah, so here I slapped the tires on. Again, I'm just trying to visualize how the car's going to look, and I want to see the offset and the fitment on the front tire, the fitment on the rear tire, the wheel wells, the gap in the wheel wells. I want to get them, depending on the look I'm going for, I either want to have a lot of clearance where I could, you could have a whole hand, and then sometimes like this one, I just want this thing to look like it was lowered. So I put big old wheels, small little tires, and then it kind of gives you that look, since you're not able to do that. Which is another thing that's kind of funny, because there's air suspension in here that would allow you like to race the car and lower the car, but it doesn't go to any car. Like it doesn't work. And I thought that was ridiculous. Like you don't give us coilovers, at least let us use that one, and give us a setting where you can raise the front up, or like in every individual tire, pick it up or lower it. Now we can really get some nice fitment and the look that you want to go for. So this is how the stock wheels look. Big old gap, which would be good if I was trying to fix a car like rally, or maybe even track, and I wanted to put a little bit fatter or more meatier tires on there. But the look I'm going for is like kind of like show and go, and so I want the outside to look, really nice, like something you would see at a car show. But I'm still gonna hook up the engine and everything so that it could actually perform also. It's not gonna be the best, because if I remember correctly, you can't change the engine on this car, and even after you upgraded the horsepower, the total gain is not that impressive. No, I do love the way that it when you do the top speed runs on them, I do love the way that this car kind of takes off. I made one for a customer once, and he wanted, I think it was like a 12% power increase overall. So you just add a few parts in there, and then it ends up being you end up getting like, I think it's like 10 to 15 power overall difference, increase in power. And you put it in there, and it's actually pretty fun. I haven't built one all the way with all the upgraded parts, like the performance parts on it. So I'm kind of curious to see what this will actually do once it's fully built. I just know that like the 2 or 3 videos that I saw people fully building out this car, it wasn't that crazy of a increase. All right, so now that I know what wheels, the wheels that I'm gonna put on it, and because I actually like the way they look, I tried to decide on the color for the wheels because like I said, already in my head, I already see the car finish, and I have a pretty good idea how I want the car to look. So I'm just trying to match that to what you could actually do in the game, and I want the rims to be dark, a shiny dark red color, and what I was thinking is like a matte black paint job on the car with these really shiny chrome red rims, but I want them to be dark, so that it's not too shiny compared to the fact that the car is going to be matte black. But once I get the rims on there, and I see what ends up happening almost every time is I end up changing the color of the paint, which is why I don't paint the car first anymore. I just paint it one of those neutral colors just so I can see all the lines. So once I finish up painting all these rims, I'm gonna go back and put them back on the tire machine and put the tires back on, balance them out, and then slap them on the car. Also, if you see that transition right there where it opens the door and I'm just inside instantly, that's not editing. That's a feature you could do in the game. I didn't like how it would fade in and fade out. I feel like it was wasting too much time for no reason, just to fade it in and fade it out. And I was like, I don't care for that. It's not visually pleasing or anything. It's not like you're showing me something cool or making some sort of cool effect. It's just fading in and fading out. So I decided to just turn it off and just have it jump me from room to room. It's actually faster because fading in and fading out takes time. Here I have so many wheels that I usually have on me so I could test fit them on cars, and depending what I'm doing. Like I said, I like to role play the game, so I have a car outside, a truck, that I actually finished for a customer not that long ago, and he has to come pick it up. And I was trying all those rims to see kind of what looked best on the car. He wanted it to be kind of like a lowrider, but not too crazy. So I went with big wheels again on it, some white walls. It looks pretty good. I'll show it to you guys in a bit. Then he's probably gonna pick it up later today or something. Here, just balancing everything out. This is one thing that I like the mini game, but at the same time I don't like it because on the 2018 Car Simulator, I could do this so much faster, where I would put one tire to get mounted while I'm balancing the other tire, and then you're removing the tire you just had mounted and putting that on the balancer, and the machines would just do the work. You didn't have to play these mini games. And I don't mind it. It gives you something else to do. But after a while, it just gets really repetitive, and it's kind of boring. And although the game is repetitive by nature, you're doing the same thing all the time. When I'm actually working the car, I don't see it that way. I have a lot of fun just building the car out. But the tire thing, and also the thing to repair parts, so repetitive, takes forever, and it is just annoying, to be honest. I wish that you could that it would give you the option, like, do you want to take a chance in repairing it? It's 100% free, or do you just want to pay X amount of dollars and have the part instantly repaired, or have everything in your inventory that can be repaired. I know to make it more put it more like in the sim, because it is a sim game, a simulation game. Adding the mini games makes it feel like you're actually repairing the parts, and I get that. But like I said, sometimes it just feels too repetitive, especially because the pattern is pretty much always the same. The tires are a little bit better. The pattern changes a little bit more. But when you're on the workbench fixing parts, that is repetitive as hell. Alright, so I'll take it outside so I can look at it in the light. Oh. I really do like the fitment. The front, I feel like I should have done 5 ET on there just to offset the tire a little bit more, get it to stick out just a little bit. But I feel like if I was to do that, it might look funky because the front fenders already have that big bubble, the big old flare, and I don't know, it just to me it'll give the feel of like those motorcycle cars, the ones that are like the motorcycle engine and tire in the back, and then 2 tires like the trikes, whatever they're called, the cars that are like that. I think it would look too much like that if the front tires popped out any further than what's on there right now. So I ended up keeping it. Like I said, I'm trying to figure out the paint, and like I said, I wanted to do a matte color, and then once I kind of see what I want, I just tweak the colors up a little bit. Like I kind of like the black itself, but I want it to be a little darker. So I start tweaking it a little bit, and I end up getting this nice charcoal color, and that makes me change my mind as to what color I want to paint it. And I was like, I still want it to be dark though. So this is a really nice charcoal color that I might have to come back to for another car. But once I start adding like the vinyl and stuff like that, I was like, oh man. And then I don't know what it was, but I hit the same color, but it's red. You'll see it right now. As soon as I saw that, I was like, I need to use this, but the color needs to be even darker. And I wanted to have like pearl in it or something. And then it was like midnight purple. I'm like, how can I make midnight purple here to make it look like really good, nice and dark, still have that purple shine to it when the light hits it just right. So I went in here, started tweaking, trying to get that midnight purple, that like very dark midnight purple look. So I like this color right here already, but I want it darker. Here, see how you can see the purple in it? But it's not obvious. Like the light has to hit it just right for you to see that purple. That's what I want. Now look at that. The red, because of the way that the color is on it, almost matches the rims almost exact. So boom. I wish there was more vinyl also to pick from, or let you do your own custom vinyl. I know that if you're playing the PC, I believe people figured out ways to do it through mods, through Steam. I'm on the 5, on the PS5, so I don't have that option. But I think it came out pretty damn good. I want to see if maybe changing out the back, the hatch, for one that doesn't have the wing, and then I could add one of the little aftermarket wings that's in the game. To maybe get a different look, maybe a more aggressive look. But for now, this is not bad. Yeah, let me show you that truck. So this is the customer's truck that's finished now. You know, put a nicer finish on the original paint, and then change up the wheel a little bit, change up the seats a little bit. Put these are, I believe they're 24s, low profile white walls, souped up engine, So yeah, pretty clean. He's supposed to come pick it up later today. Either way, this car's gonna be done for now. So on the next episode, I'm not gonna be doing a voiceover or narrating or whatever you want to say. I'm actually gonna be talking while I'm playing, because I'm gonna do it when everybody's up and I don't have to be all quiet. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one.